Hello students, today's topic is Bohr's model for hydrogen atom. Okay, and as you all know, hydrogen atom carries one electron. It is a single electronic system. Okay, so suppose this is the nucleus of hydrogen atom and this is the orbit where electron is revolving. So this distance I have taken r. Okay, and this v is the tangential velocity. So okay, I will come here. So before coming here, let's discuss about Bohr's model. Three important postulates were given by Bohr. I will write one by one. First one is, remember like this: every orbit has a fixed energy. You just remember like this, small lines, and angular momentum equal to nh by 2 pi. Angular momentum is mvr. And third, remember, energy difference equal to h mu. So these two are two formulas actually. These are the three postulates. So these formulas of what? Now angular momentum of the electron. Angular momentum is what? Mass into tangential velocity to radius. This angular momentum is nh upon 2 pi. And this is the equation says that the difference of energy in form of light. That means Bohr said ki if an electron comes from higher orbit to lower orbit, then it radiates energy. And the form of energy in terms of light, it radiates photon. So these are the basic three postulates you have to remember. But the important part is that from these postulates, basically from the second postulate, I will derive the radius of this orbit, the velocity, tangential velocity of the electron, and energy of the electron. Okay, let's do one by one. So now come to the case. What is the case? Now I am saying there are two forces. The first force is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force means nucleus is positively charged, electron is negatively charged. So there is a force of electrostatic. Okay, this electrostatic force gives a reaction force which is nothing but centrifugal force. The reaction force is offered by the electron and the electrostatic force is like this. So if I will conclude here, they both may not be equal, but one is the reason and another is the cause. So I can write two forces: electrostatic force equal to centrifugal force. So these are the basic two forces. Electrostatic force is what? If it is E, it is also E. So electrostatic force will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 E square upon R square. This force will be mv square upon R. So this is the basic equation we are given. Means the both forces are equal. From this I will get everything. How I am getting, just concentrately look. So first I will do for B equal to how much? From this equation, B equal to how much? Means this B equal to this B square equal to how much? This B square equal to, if R will come this side, so E square R, okay, E square R upon 4 pi epsilon R square. So R square will get cancelled. Here R will be there. So B I will get. A is also there, right? So M will be B square equal to M will come this sides. 4 pi epsilon 0 is there. R, M, and B square will that side. Okay, R. So B equal to root over of this. Root over this means E upon 4 pi E epsilon 0 R and root over. Okay, so by equating these two forces, I got the velocity expression. This is not the final expression. Okay, I will derive later, but using this I will proceed. So first here I am writing what I am getting. I got V equal to E upon root over of 4 pi epsilon 0 r into m. Okay, now I will do for r. So as you know, again I write 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 e square upon r square equal to mv square by r. Okay, now I will calculate what will be my r. If r will come, if this r square will go to there, so and total mv square will come this side, so e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 mv square equal to r. Okay, equal to r. So I can write like this: r equal to e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 mv square. 4 pi epsilon 0 mv square. So I got two expressions. One is for velocity, one is for radius. And number 3 I have to use angular momentum equal to nh by 2 pi. Now here is the catch. What is the catch? Now to derive the velocity and radius, you have to use these third equations. So how to do? So write like this: mvr equal to nh upon 2 pi. So take v equal to nh upon 2 pi into mr into mr. So in the place of v, if you put this v, so you will get expression of radius. So let's put the value of v. So it is nothing but e upon root over of 4 pi epsilon 0 rm. So if I do both sides square, I will get e square 4 pi epsilon 0 rm equal to n square h square pi 4 pi square m square r square. So it implies that, okay, it implies that I need to calculate r. I will take r that side. Sorry, I will bring this r square to this side. Then I will be able to calculate r. So I am writing r equal to this r square, this r will get cancelled, and I will get r equal to n square is there, n square is there, upon e square will come down. Okay, this will go up. So 4 pi epsilon 0 a, and this 4 pi square m square. So let's cancel each other. So this 4 pi will get cancelled, and the remaining will be only pi. Remaining will be only pi, and m square, m is there, so remaining will be only m. So finally I am getting r equal to n square h square epsilon 0 by e square pi m, by e square pi m, which is, again I am concluding that h is a constant, e epsilon 0 is a constant, e electronic charge is constant, so every factors are constant. So r directly relates to n square. One conclusion I am getting over here, and this is the final expression of r. So similarly, I will calculate for velocity, and this is not very much difficult, right? Just equating this expression, I am getting the value of r. Okay, then I will calculate the value of velocity. How to calculate the value of velocity? So for that, I will write like this: r equal to nh by 2 pi mv. R equal to nh by 2 pi mv. So in this place of r, if I put this r, then I will get the v, expression of v. Okay, so in this place of r, let's put it. The value of r is nothing but e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 mr square, sorry, mv square. So now what I can observe here, v square is and here v is there. So if this v square will go to that side, then I can write like this: e square into cross multiplication. So this v will go there and every cross multiplication. So 2 pi m, okay, divided by, and this will come to, this is multiplied with this, and this will multiply with this. So 4 pi epsilon 0 m into, sorry, m into n into h. So v square will go like this. So let's check me out once again. I think I have done some mistakes. So my concern is to calculate v, right? So this v square will go there. So v will get cancelled out, and in the RHS I will simply get v, and I will bring every terms to these sides. So by doing this, I am getting every term to this side is e square into 2 pi into m upon 4 pi epsilon 0 m n h, and this m is cancelled out, and 2 pi, then 4 pi. So this is getting 2. So finally I am getting e square upon 2 epsilon 0 n into h into v. So here also one thing I can clearly observe: e is a constant, epsilon is a constant, h is a constant. So v relates to 1 by n. So in previous case I relate r related to n square, and this case I am relating v 1 by n. What does it mean? It means r varies according to the n square. Okay, so you will read a 2n square law. Bohr had given a 2n square law. So from this, basically he had given the 2n square law. So r varies like n square and v varies like 1 by n. 1 by n means the n will be increased, means v will be decreased. That means what? For the first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, n is increasing. So later on v is decreasing. That means velocity at the first orbit is high, then the second orbit is less, then less, then less. As you go higher orbit, the velocity will be decreased. So here I derived the expression of radius and velocity. In the very next class, I will derive because if I have to do now, the video will be a lengthy one. So in the very next class, I will derive the expression of energy. So till now, what we have studied, the three postulates of Bohr's model and how to derive the velocity and radius of the hydrogen atom. Okay, of the hydrogen atom. And to conclusion also I got these two conclusion. What two conclusion I got? The conclusion is that the velocity depends inversely to the n number of orbit, and the radius depends directly to the square of the orbit. Okay, so using this also they will ask some questions. So these questions will be like that. Okay, so what will be the ratios of velocities of an orbit in second orbit and third orbit? Although it is not possible for hydrogen, you know that hydrogen is a single atom, it's a single electron, there is no second orbit, no third orbit. Suppose I will ask a question like this: it is what is the velocities of second orbit and third orbit? So as n is 2, n is 3, so v second pi v third equal to inversely proportional, so it will be 3 upon 2. It will be 3 upon 2. So it is some same. Okay, they will not ask a problem like this. So the important thing is that these two relations I got. But the council exam point of view, they will ask write down the postulates of Bohr's model and derive the expression of velocity, radius and energy. And the very next class I will derive the expression of energy.